Hello, I'm creating these videos for my students. If you are looking for Revit training, please contact me in WhatsApp or in LinkedIn chat, or you can directly call me on my number. Thanks for watching my video. Let's continue. Today we are going to discuss about selection based filter in Revit. We all know that when you are selecting with the mouse click, you are selecting an element and you have some selection control in the right bottom. You can see here you have some selection control. For selection we have little more tools in Revit, so that's what I'm going to discuss today. So if you want to see those selection tools, go to Manage tab. Here in the selection group you can see some three tools in the selection group. So for now only one tool is active, it is edit selection. If you press here you can see edit filter dialog box. So in the edit filter dialog box we have two options. One is rule based filter and another one is selection based filters. We have two options. One is rule based filter and another one is selection filter. Okay, so if you want to create a new filter, you can click here. For now I'm going to show you how this works. Okay, let's close this dialog box for now. Okay, I'm going to a new view. Let's go to any floor plan. Okay, here I'm going to draw some 4 walls. Okay, let's go to architecture. Let's take a wall and I'm just going to draw 4 walls. Okay, let's draw some group of walls. Okay, I have these many walls. Okay, so now I'm going to select these two. Once I'm selecting the wall, you can see in the right side you have the selection group icon. So you can save or you can edit a selection. Editing the selection will open the same dialog box. If you are saving the selection, Revit will ask you to mention a name. Let's say that as selection 1. Okay, I'm going to say selection 1. Now if you go to manage and here in the selection group, if you select the middle one, it is load selection, and if you click here, Revit will give a dialog box to select a filter. If you select and if you give OK, you can see here the selection 1 elements are highlighting now. I'm going to do some more selection filters. Let's select these two and this one, and I'm going to save this selection. Let's say selection 2, and I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to select these 3 and I'm going to save this selection. Let's name it as selection 3, and I'm saying OK. So now you know we have 3 selection filter. So again, if I have to load the selection, I can go to manage, and here in the middle you can see in the selection group the middle icon is to load the selection. If I click here and I can see all the selection filters. If I select the selection 2 and if I say OK, you can see the selection 2 is active. So like this we can use a selection filter to select a group of elements. In case if you want to add or edit the selection filter, you can always do that. You can select on the edit selection and then select which selection filter you want to edit. For now I'm going to select selection 1 and I'm going to edit. When I press edit, you can see the tools to add a selection, to remove from selection, and you can finish once you edit the selection filter. or you can cancel the existing operation. Okay, so these tools are same like adding to a group or adding to an assembly. So you can add to a selection filter or you can remove from selection. For now I'm going to use the first tool, that is add to selection, and I'm going to select. You can see here, so whichever is already selected it is showing as gray, and whichever is available to select it is highlighting. So I'm going to select these 4. Now these 4 and these 2 walls are added to selection 1, and I'm going to say finish. Now again I'm going to say OK. Now if I load the selection 1, if I give OK, you can see these 2 were selection 1. Now these 4 walls are also added to selection 1. Okay, let's do that once again. I'm going to edit selection and I'm selecting selection 2 and I'm going to edit. So now what you see is the selection 2 elements. Whichever is gray, it is not added to the selection filter. If I want to add it to selection, I can click on the first icon, and now you can see whichever the available elements to add it to the filter. Now I'm going to add this one single wall, and I'm going to take the second tool to remove this wall. Okay, and now whatever is highlighted is with the selection 2. Okay, I'm going to finish it now and I'm giving OK. Now you can see if I load selection 2 and if I say OK, you can see these 3 walls are selected. That's how you can edit a selection filter. And now you have to understand why do we make this selection filter. You can have any reason to make a selection filter. So once you make a selection filter, actually you can use that in a visibility graphics filter rule. Okay, for example, now I have 3 selection filter. Okay, I'm going to select a selection 1. Okay, these are my selection 1. In case if I want these elements to be shaded in some color, then I can go to visibility graphics. I'm typing VG in my keyboard, and here you can see the last tab is the filter, and I can add it to the filter rule. I'm adding selection 1, and here you see now I have the option to change the presentation or color of the element. So I'm going to add the color of the element. Let's add cut pattern. Okay, let's add some color, and I'm going to say OK. It's not visible. If you change the detail level, and you can see now it is showing the pattern. Now it is showing the cut pattern. I can keep it as medium also. Still it is showing the hatch pattern. Let's try once again. I'm going to visibility graphics and I'm going to filters and I'm adding a filter rule. Let's take selection 2, and now I'm going to add cut lines to a different color. Let it be solid lines and the color going to be magenta, and I'm going to say OK. Once I'm keeping the level to fine mode, you can see these colors are changed. I hope now you have understood how to make a selection filter and how to edit them and how to use them in a visibility graphics filter rule. Okay, in case if you want to read it on the Autodesk help menu, you can go to manage tab and then just highlight over any of the selection tool and then press F1, and here you can see you can read about selection based filters. So you can read all the tips and guidance written here. Okay, you can read this and you can learn yourself. If you have any doubt or if you are not understanding what the element filter can do, then you can always contact me through WhatsApp. You can text me on LinkedIn. Otherwise, you can directly call me on my number. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Bye bye.